This training is what made Joy who she is today, because we discovered this together. And it's a very, very interesting story, and you can fill in later. Let me just tell the little story.
I love it.
Here's what this training is all about. We spoke a lot about the connection, right? But it's much more than what you believe it is. Let me see if I can find the drawing. Because there's one aspect. First, we have left and right brain. The new training that we're going to talk about is about opening the right brain to its fullest. That's something that is not being taught, as far as we know, anywhere on this planet. And I'll explain that later. And we think what we have to give is so unique that everybody should learn this in school. That's what we believe. Well, I can't find. I'll make a new one.
What's she looking for?
Remember, I said we have the collective mind.
So cute, right?
And in the collective ocean, we have ourselves. This is our higher consciousness. This is connected to us, if we want it or not. If the connection is broken, if this connection is broken, then we die. Maybe you know from mythology, you have the angel of death with this. It's called this thing?
In German, it's a sense. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I know how it looks like. It's this thing. He can cut it, and this guy is dressed like this, okay? And he cuts this throat, okay? Something like that. And then you die, okay? So watch out for this guy. Anyway, that's what they mean. We're connected like this. Okay, so, but here is, imagine having this mainframe computer that has all the information about everything that exists on this planet. So, the training we're going to give sounds spiritual, but it is practical. It is so practical that you cannot imagine. So we call it oracle. So Joy is an oracle, and she can channel intelligence anywhere here and allow them to speak in her voice or through her vocal cords. That's one way to do it. Other people, I'm a channeler in writing. That's why I wrote so many books. It's easy for me to channel that information, to create meditations, stuff like that. So channeling, as we call it, can be in different forms. But it can be very practical. So one of the things, for example, is that I remembered there was something broken in my car. It was a Mercedes at the time. And I asked Joy, can you channel for me what's broken in this car, right? So Joy's higher consciousness is not an expert on cars. So, these higher experts call upon someone else, another one here, and I always ask when she starts talking, who is speaking? And this guy say, my name is Henry T. Ford. Okay, I don't know if you know who Ford is. Okay. He knows everything about cars. Everything. And he said exactly where it was broken. So I brought it to the mechanic, and I said, there's a problem, fix it. Easy. Another time, I was asking, there was out this new car called 𝐬𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐬𝐶 Karma. It was a new car, half electric, half on gasoline. And then I was in love with this car and another car, which was the Porsche Panamera. So I was, okay, which one should I get? This one or this one? So we call upon Henry T. Ford. And Henry T. Ford said, do not get the 𝐬𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐶 Karma, because that company will have a lot of troubles. And what do you think happened? The company went bankrupt. Now it's going to come back again. He said, don't buy the Porsche Panamera at this point, because the filter of the Porsche is not good, so you will get these fine particles. Wait, there's another car coming that's better for you. Guess which car that was? Tesla. So now I have the Tesla. So you can ask very practical questions to whatever it is that you need. We had a leak in our house in Holland. We checked where is the leak. We consult people. We had one guy in Switzerland who had a recycling process to make diesel, but the diesel was not stable. We checked what you need to do to change that. So it's very, very practical. But most of it, more practical is than all those questions, is that you have now a real compass for your life. Can you imagine that you want to know, should I do this or should I do that? And you can just channel that information. Now, just for you to explain the impact on our lives, is that everything we do, every important decision that we make, we do it through this method. Okay? Should we do this workshop, yes or not? What kind of name should we give this workshop? Huh? And
we are doing it, don't worry.
and so we discovered a group on the other side that's called Crystalline. And Crystalline is a group that is our advisors. And so we followed their advice, and they helped us to create this training. And any other training we do, we always get advice from them. We would like to share this information now. And the reason we are now ready to share it is that we have over 5 years of experience living this way. When we started the first training, we were just excited because we discovered it, but we did not have the experience that we have right now. Does it make sense? So now we're so excited because now we've seen it in our lives. We've seen also the things that were predicted are coming out, things in the future, and on and on and on. So we would really, really like to pass this information on, and this is going to be in Italy the first time we're going to start with it.
When I met Roy, I was a very stressed out single mom of 3 kids. I had my business. I led a very, I'd say, normal life. My parents, my father is a nuclear physicist. He is a university professor. He's worked at Stanford. He's a very, very smart, amazing guy. I have a mom. She's a teacher. She's an amazing woman, is also very structured, very, very normal and sane, right? They're not like me. So I ended up also following this system of being a good person and doing what our society tells us to do, which is work hard and, do all the things, be a good mom and all that. And I was very stressed out. I was actually so stressed out that for me, relaxation was something I had a really hard time doing. I had trouble sleeping. I found it even difficult to enjoy massages because I was just so high-strung. So for me, to learn even how to relax or to go into trance is pretty huge. For me to connect to some intelligence somewhere and to channel stuff was so alien to me, I cannot tell you. It was so not what I wanted, so not what I was desiring in life. It just happened. And because it happened due to the training that we were doing by strengthening the intuition, by working with Omega, it actually just opened up my channels. So what I'm saying, why this is important, because it made me realize that channeling, intuition, is not something that we are just born with as a gift, and a few lucky ones of us can actually have. I know from my own experience, not only from myself, but from now training, I don't know, how many oracles have I trained? 120 something. That was the first round. They all can do it. Every one of us can learn how to do this. It is not a gift that you're given. It's a training. It's a muscle you train. Just like you learn how to ride a bike. If nobody ever shows you how to ride a bike, you will not be able to ride a bike. But if you want to and you have a teacher who can show you the steps, anybody can. And for me, channeling is not something that has to be super woo-woo with, 1,000 incense sticks and you're sitting there and doing weird stuff. Not at all. It's tapping into an information that is readily available for all of us, but we just haven't learned how to access it. And when I see how our daughter at 7 years old is so freaking clairvoyant, is so intuitive, it's not because she was just, is special. It's because she wasn't blocked. She hasn't been, I don't know, deformed, delinked by school society, because she's been lucky enough to be with us, and we really care about that, obviously. I mean, this is what we're about. So I can see also in children that children are innately intuitive when they're born, because they have that connection. Their brain waves are so relaxed, they're in such a perfect state to access this information that it happens naturally to them. But as we grow up, our brain wave states just change, our frequencies change. You can read this up in science magazines. I'm not making this up. We go from, as babies, being in delta most of the time, where we are super, super relaxed, to when we go into puberty, we switch into alpha. So up until the years of about 12, 13, children are in very, very relaxed brainwave states, which means that they are highly suggestible and highly programmable, which means why do we have all these challenges and traumas from our childhood? Because that's when they happened. That's when we were open and we took everything in. We had no filter, you see? As a child, we will believe exactly what we are told. So if we as children are told, when we feel intuitively, oh, there's, I don't know, like Roy was saying, there's some woman in my room, or they see ghosts and whatever, and we as parents tell them, oh, nonsense, that's nonsense, right? They will shut it off, because we're telling them that does not exist. And then as we grow up in life, we discover, oh, but there is more. I'm feeling more. I know there's more than just what I can touch, right? You know all that. And now we're in the state of having to find that connection again. But I say that connection is, yeah, I'd say it's our birthright. And I say it's our choice if we want to strengthen that, if we want to tune that so we can actually make it work for us and help us in life. And that's why I am so passionate about the Oracle training, because I want to demystify this. I want to demystify all the so-called spiritual world, because I feel the spiritual world has been put into a box that it isn't right in. It feels so separate. It's like you can either be a sane, successful, happy person and function in society, or you can be this really strange, weird person who has lost all connection with reality, has no money, dresses awful, and I don't know, looks a mess and is struggling through life, right? Be honest. Those are the judgments we have about spiritual people. Is that true? Be true, yeah. And I get it. I did too. Which is why I never wanted to be like that. Because I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I like my life. I want to function. And I believe that I am the living proof you can have both. You can have one foot in the spiritual world and feel very comfortable there, and you can have one foot in the very rational 3D world that exists of to-do lists and tasks to do and bank accounts and bills to pay. You can have both. And I believe that is what balance is. And I believe that is what helps us have this fulfilled and satisfied life. Because the spiritual box nurtures us in a way that the 3D box can't. Because all material things, be honest, do they really fulfill you? No. But the feeling of having trust and faith and seeing a purpose in your life, that fulfills. And for me, the Oracle training gave me that purpose. It gave me that direction, and it gave me that confidence that I have this intuitive part that is guiding me. It feels so much safer. It feels so much more protected in life. And that is why I would love to share it with anybody who says, I want to learn that too. I want to learn how to tap into that guidance. I want to feel that guidance in my life too. If that is for you, then yeah, do join me for our training, and I hope we'll have lots of us.
All right. The first time we did this, it was for us to prove to ourselves that it was not something that we only could do. It was to prove that what Joy was able to do, and I could also do a little bit, it was not a chance. It was not Joy being special. You know, so we trained 120 people, or 124, I don't remember, to prove, is this real or not? And then we let go of it because we wanted to experiment with it. We want to explore it. We want to really understand it. And now, the next training that's going to come, let's see, the first training was for Joy. Okay, that
Well,
she
for
was
me
not-
to stand on stage and say I'm an oracle, that took 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt so unsure of it. I thought I'd be laughed at. I thought I'd be judged for it. I thought my own family was going to say, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. And you know, even our own marketing teams would advise, no, that's too spiritual. That's too woo-woo. No, don't do oracle. Do medical doctor. That's good, right? And now I'm at the point in my life where I say, no, this is who I am. This is what I love. I see the results in other people's lives, and it needs to be spread. And I'm willing to be ridiculed. I'm willing to be judged now because I no longer care, because I had Omega healing to get all that junk out of me. So now, go ahead, judge me. I don't care anymore.
Good. Okay. So what I wanted to say
Sorry.
is it that in the next train that we're going to start, I am looking for, especially men, nothing against women, because men have a different type of brain.
Yes, very true.
No.
Yeah,
They have a different type of brain. What I want is I'm looking for people who have a engineer kind of brain or architect kind of brain, some more well-developed left brain. Because when I channel with Joy, I want to know what's happening in the future, but she can only show me pictures. She cannot give me the blueprints.
So if he asks me for a new engine model, for instance, in the future, I will give him very fanciful descriptions of what I see, but because my brain does not contain the right words for all this technical stuff, I don't have it in me, you see? Okay. But when we train someone who has that kind of brain, who is technologically interested, who is trained to be like my dad, a physicist or something like that, it's much easier. Because just imagine if a left brain person like that with so much knowledge suddenly has that connection. Can you imagine what they can do? How much new information can come in? That's really exciting.
So that's what I'm looking for. And because I want to build new planes, new cars, fancy stuff that don't exist yet, okay? I want to be able to find information in the future and bring it into the now. And I know we can do that. Also, I want to create a team together with Joy where we can look in the future and start making predictions of things that may happen that we can change before it happens. So here you need to understand that anything that's in the future is a possibility. If it's in all the futures the same, then it will happen. Do you understand the difference? There are futures where it happens, some future where it doesn't happen. So the question is, let's say there's going to be a nuclear war on this planet. It will self-destroy this planet, right? But if we know it's going to happen, maybe we can prevent it if we know what to do. And then we jump to another future where there's no nuclear war. Does it make sense? And we've been on the brink of nuclear war many times that we don't even know. But right now, the world is in a dangerous place because we got all these countries now with nuclear weapons. And the most crazy one is North Korea. And the guy who's leading North Korea, I don't know if you can talk to him. And he's making more atomic bombs because he's afraid. So what if we could make a group of people who will send the message to him, it is safe, it is okay, there's no danger. Does that make sense?
What if we on distance helped him heal?
Exactly. Can you imagine if 600 people would all work on one person? And sorry for the free will bullshit. So just imagine that we all decide we do not want a nuclear war because this guy feels bad because his coffee is cold. Do you understand what I'm saying? Would we all not sit together and meditate and try to prevent that? And that's what I want to create. I want to create a team like that we can figure out things like this. Thank you. So we hope that many of you will choose to continue with us because in October we will give the first module. And the first module is called initiation. So it's about stepping into the light. And the great thing of becoming an oracle is that what will happen in time is you have to move from wherever you are here more to the higher frequencies. So it is also a path of self-development. It's also a path
the steepest
of becoming
path of
more the
self-development.
authentic you, the true you, the one that was meant to be before you came to this planet.
I feel for myself, if I look back, it was one of the steepest paths of self-development.
Right.
So if you want to make a real jump, it's for you, because
Come
you
jump
will...
with us.
Come jump with us, yeah.
And it changed your life, it changed your relationship, it changed everything. But just know, it is not about spirituality. It's not about, it makes you more spiritual. What makes you spiritual is your path, not what you can do. Some people can channel, but they're not spiritual, because it's just a technique. It's not a technique that's only given to spiritual people. Actually, a lot of ego-driven people, successful businessmen, have a strong way to channel. They know how to take advantage of people. They know your weaknesses. But I just want to put it out there, it's a talent, it's a skill set that you can learn. Some people have used it to go on the investing market, how do you call it?
Trading,
trading. So you can use it for trading. Other people use it to write books. Other people use it for connecting with nature. Other people use it to connect with angels, with fairies. Other people use it to connect with Jesus and to listen to what he has to tell you. In this collective up here, you can connect to anyone you want. And we will teach in the first module already how to protect yourself, how to be sure that the connection is pure and not something you don't want. So that's what we're going to teach you. And also you will teach a lot about a new type of healing, where you're healing with that energy, where you ask, where should I send this healing, how to do it, and you actually will start doing less and less over time because you're being guided more and more. So that's what we want to say. If you're interested, you can sign up. And last but not least, what I would like you to say is that we love Omega, and we love to teach Omega, and but I know for sure, and I'm speaking for Joy, this is her thing. This is where she lightens up the room, because this is what she loves to teach. And
well, and Omega and the Oracle training is so compatible. That's what I love.
Yeah,
you see, you have an open system that you can plug everything in that you've been doing, and that's what I love about it. We're not saying this is the only way to happiness. We're saying there's this way, this way, this way, and you can put them all together and make it your way.
Absolutely.
Because what we care about is that you are walking your path that is the best for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.